everyone. So at the suggestion of a wonderful fellow crafter, I have decided that today we'll be doing an avocado cold process soap using this fresh avocado. So when it comes to putting fruit or veggie purees into your cold process soap, it's actually very simple to do, and the process remains the same. Anything you'd want to incorporate into your cold process soap, you can do so, and I'm going to show you how using this here avocado. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get this avocado ready to be turned into soap, and how we do that is by getting this pureed. So first things first is I'm going to get this cut. And the amount that you choose to use in your soap is personal preference. You can use the whole avocado or just some of it. I think for this batch, I'll do half of this avocado and save the other half for guacamole. Now I'm going to place it in this cup right here so that I can put it on my blender and get it pureed. I'm just going to get this blended up really well. And you can even, if you don't have like a blender or this is like a magic bullet type thing, if you don't have anything like this, you can also just use your stick blender to do this part. But I'm just going to get this pureed really nice. And so once you've got your fruit or veggie pureed very well, the next thing you're going to want to do is to get it weighed out. Because when incorporating fruit or vegetables into your cold process soaps, you want to take the weight of the puree and subtract that from the total amount of liquid that you'll be using in your recipe. So for example, if your recipe calls for 8 ounces of water and you have 2 ounces of a fruit or a veggie puree that you want to incorporate in your recipe, then you would dissolve your lye in 6 ounces of water and use that remaining 2 ounces as your puree. So I have exactly 1.5 ounces of avocado puree in this bowl here. So that's how much I'm going to subtract from my total liquid weight when I make my cold process soap. So from here, there's a couple options, and there's no right or wrong way on how to incorporate a fruit or veggie puree into your cold process soap. But you can from here just incorporate this directly into your soap batter when it reaches emulsion or light trace, or you can do another thing that I prefer to do, just because it gets this avocado really nice and smooth, or a lot more smoother to incorporate into my soap. So here, I'm going to show you what I like to do. So I've got here, this is the total amount of olive oil that I'm going to be using in my recipe today. And any kind of soft oil that you're using in your recipe will work just fine. It doesn't have to be the olive oil. But what I like to do is add that to the avocado puree. Just add about half of it for right now. I'm just going to go ahead and stick blend this now into the olive oil and get it really smooth. And then I'm going to add the remaining amount of my olive oil and get this blended in really well. So there you have it. Now the avocado puree has been blended and mixed in really well with this olive oil so that it's nice and smooth. So when it comes time to make our cold process soap, all I have to do is add this olive oil to my main batch oils like I would normally with any other batch and make avocado soap. So now that I have this nice and blended in with my olive oil, I'm going to set this off to the side and we can start making some soap. The fragrance oil that I'll be using today is one of my personal favorites. I have soaped with it many times, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's an amazing fragrance oil. I am talking about Nature's Fragrance Lavender and Spring Apricot Fragrance Oil. It is an absolutely beautiful fragrance. It has top notes of lavender, apple, pomelo, apricot, middle notes of magnolia, lavender, bamboo, and dahlia, and bottom notes of sandalwood, cedar, musk, and cashmere wood. It is a Bath & Body Works duplication, but this duplication was made exclusively for Nature's Fragrance, and it is fantastic. When I smell this fragrance oil, it is not very heavy on the lavender to my nose. To me, I get more of a floral blend, but the beauty of it is that those juicy just authentic, crisp apricot notes just really, really catch you. So the first thing that I get is the apricot, followed by just a beautiful blend of spring florals, and at the very base, just a smooth, almost sort of creaminess that I think comes from that cashmere wood note. It's not a woody scent by any means, but it's just smooth and botanical and just so fresh and pretty and feminine. And the really cool thing about this fragrance oil is that it has no vanillin in it. It behaves perfectly in cold process, no acceleration, no rising, no funny business. It has a lotion usage rate of 18.18% and a soap usage rate of 20%, and it is just such a lovely fragrance. When I first smelled this fragrance oil out of the bottle, because it isn't like a loud in-your-face type fragrance, I have to admit I was a little concerned if those softer notes within it would translate well in cold process soap. And for me and my experiences with soaping with this fragrance oil actually cures stronger in the finished product, which is what I absolutely love about it. It comes out just so beautifully. It blossoms and develops into such an amazing aroma, and it lasts. So this is a bar, I think it's the third batch I ever made with this fragrance oil. I made this soap on December 18th of 2018. So this soap was made 294 days ago with Nature's Fragrance Lavender and Spring Apricot Fragrance Oil, and it still smells as potent and as fragrant and as beautiful as the day it was cut. I am not kidding. It's just such a beautiful fragrance, and it's such a lasting fragrance. So yes, this soap, again, over 9 months old, and it's still going strong. So this is just a fragrance oil that I absolutely love working with. I'm so excited to work with again. And I thought, especially with incorporating a fresh avocado into our cold process soap, that this fragrance would go perfect for that, kind of like a apricots and avocado type of soap. So let's get this beautiful fragrance going. Let's get everything ready, and let's make our fresh avocado puree cold process soap. So we'll see you guys back. All right, so everything has cooled down to about room temperature, so it's time to make some avocado soap with the lovely lavender and spring apricot fragrance oil from Nature's Fragrance. It smells so good. I absolutely love this fragrance oil. My avocado olive oil here. So I'm going to mix that in with the rest of my batch oils now. And then from here, I'm just going to hit this with my immersion blender to get it really, really incorporated into my batch oils, make it nice and smooth. Great. We've got the avocado nicely incorporated into my batch oils. Now it's time to get my Lye Solution ready by adding my sodium lactate. I'm using that at 3% of my total oil weight. So my Lye Solution is my usual aloe tussa silk blend, and I don't have as much because, again, I did subtract the amount of avocado that I used in my recipe from the liquid itself. But I will go ahead and add my sodium lactate to my cooled Lye Solution and get that nice and stirred in. And now it's time to get the Lye Solution added to our base oils with that avocado puree in there already. Just gonna give this a stir by hand to get it nice and incorporated first, and then we'll hit it with our stick blender and we'll bring it to a light trace. Alright, everything's looking good, so it's time to get this split off for our colors. So I've split off the batter into these 3 containers here for 3 accent colors. Our first accent color is going to be a mica called Winter White. So we'll get that added into the first portion here. Our second accent portion or color is going to be this mica called Coral Reef. Thought it would be perfect for like an apricot type color, so let's get that added in. And our last accent color is a mica called Let Us Entertain You for a fresh avocado type color. Accent colors are looking beautiful. Let's get the main batch colored. For the main batch, I have mixed a mica called Mint Cream with equal parts of a white mica called White Satin Mica to make it even lighter. So it's a very, very light green color, and I think it'll be perfect as our main base color. Get that added in. All right, we've got this soft green mixed in, so now it's time to add that beautiful fragrance oil to our soup. All right, I've added in my fragrance oil. It's time to get this poured. And I think today I'm just gonna go with a classic drop swirl. That always looks beautiful. We'll get this set up. There we go. I'm gonna get this light green poured first, just a layer of it on the bottom. Next I'll do some of this white. And some of this coral red color. Lime green. And let's add in more of this light green color. And just repeat. Pour in the remaining of our lightest green. And then I'll take my spatula and just smooth out this top a little bit. All right, we're all done with this part. Everything's looking avocado-y and apricot-y, so I'm going to let this set up and then we'll come back to pipe the top. Oh my goodness, my whole kitchen smells amazing right now. I love the way this fragrance oil smells in cold process. It's absolutely incredible. Just such a beautiful fragrance. The top of my soap is set up, so now it's time to get it piped. In here I have got my batch oils, and I have already added more of the fragrance oil, which is lavender and spring apricots. And I've also added some white mica colorant as well, so let's get this started. Add my Lye Solution, and let's make some soap frosting to go on top of our apricot and avocado soap, shall we? Soap is all piped now, so I'm just going to add a little bit bit of shimmer. Not a ton this time, but a little bit. I'm gonna spray on some of this Gold Enigma mica just to give it a slight sparkle, but nothing crazy. All right, so we have a beautiful golden metallic shimmer going on. So for this, our embeds today, I've made some little apricot embeds and some green leaves to represent the freshness of the scent and the avocado, and some of these to represent an avocado pit. So I'll get these placed on the soap and I'll bring you back when it's looking pretty. All right, embeds are placed. The soap is looking so beautiful and it is smelling absolutely gorgeous. I love, love, love this fragrance oil in application. It is so beautiful. So we've got here our little avocado seeds in the middle and some green fresh leaves on one side and our apricot embeds on the other. And then of course, a little bit of golden shimmery sparkle just to add a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, but not too much. So just the right amount. So it is looking good and smelling even better. So I am going to get this put to bed. I'm going to spray it with some 91% rubbing alcohol. This will help to prevent soda ash. And then I'll get it lightly insulated and we'll come back tomorrow to get it cut and see what our avocado soap looks like on the inside. So we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Well, we are back the next day for the cut of our spring apricot and avocado soap made with lavender and spring apricot fragrance oil from Nature's Fragrance, and of course that fresh avocado puree. It is looking so beautiful today and smelling just incredible. I really loved how this lighter green color turned out. That's just perfect. And the scent, oh my goodness. The thing that I love most about this fragrance oil is that not only does it just blossom and bloom in application, but it does so just right off the bat. I mean, this is just smelling so beautiful and wonderful today. So I am so excited to get this cut and see if it looks as beautiful on the inside as it is smelling on the out. So without further chit-chatting, let's get this cut and see what our avocado soap looks like. the cut of our fresh avocado handmade soap. It is looking absolutely perfect, exactly what I had in mind. I am so pleased with how this turned out, and I am even more pleased with how amazing they smell. So if you would like to get your hands on this incredible fragrance oil made exclusively for Nature's Fragrance, just go online to www.naturesfragrance.com. You can find this fragrance oil and many others there for your crafty creations at home. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to get something entertaining from it or valuable when it comes to learning something new. And until next time, we'll catch you again later. Thanks again, guys. Bye.